Hello, all of you, and I welcome all of you to my 3-day online course on best practices for writing a research paper fast and easy. I have to record this session because the live stream did not went as I was expecting. So, I will be sharing this video with all of you so as to you can so that you don't miss the session what you were going to attend on the live stream. So let's start the today's course. So firstly, I would like to give a basic introduction about myself. My name is Chandan and I am a research scholar at CSIO Delhi Center. My specialization includes machine learning and wireless sensor networks. I have written more than 10 research papers and have delivered various expert talks. So here is a picture where I got the award of honor from DAV Surajpur for my session over there about the research paper. And this is the photos about my sessions on hardware bits. I have done sessions for schools, for teachers, and even for college going students. So let's start the first day of the course. On the first day, we are going to talk about the fundamental concepts of research and the basics of a research paper. So first we will talk about what do we mean by research, what is a research problem, what do we mean by independent and dependent variables, about hypothesis, about peer review, about literature review. Then we will be talking about the basics of research paper, where I will talk about why you need to write a research paper. Then what are the types of research paper? What is the difference between a research paper and a review paper? And finally, we will conclude this session by talking about the parts of a research paper. So let's start our today's session. So what do we mean by research? The research word itself has come from research. So there is a topic, there is a thing about what there is already information available. We have to search that information one more time. We have to research that information with an idea to come to any conclusion, or to find out any answer, or to find a new thing which has not been found till yet. This definition stands for all streams of research, either it be a social sciences, either it be a management, either it be for engineering. Now when we talk about the definition of research, so that definition states that research is the process of solving problems and finding facts in an organized way. So there are various types of research. First, there is a basic research, then an applied, then problem oriented, then qualitative and quantitative. When we talk about the basic research, we do it as a part of as a motive to collect the data to improve our knowledge. When we talk about applied research, then we try to focus on analyzing and solving real life problems. when we talk about a problem oriented research, then there we try to find out the exact type of the problem, and we try to find out its solutions. Now, for the qualitative research, it is a process which has a form of an inquiry. This helps us to create an in-depth understanding of the issues in their natural settings. Now, talking about the quantitative research, it is a structured way of collecting data and analyzing that data to form some conclusions. Now, what is a research problem? Research problem is that question that a researcher wants to find out the answer to. Like, if I want to find out a better way to understand the behavior of my customers, or to understand how do people react when they are forced to some kind of situation, that is what we called as the research problem. Or when we talk about engineering, when I want to find out that how this kind of this chemical or something like that reacts with the other thing, so that is something that I want to find out. So that constitutes our research problem. Coming on to the independent and dependent variables. So in every experiment, there are some things or there are some conditions that we can change, and then we observe the output of that change on some other thing. Like, if you are trying to change the concentration of water in a solution, so what you are doing here, you are trying to change the concentration of water and see how that solution reacts to it. So here your independent variable is your water concentration, and how it reacts is your dependent variable. So this is a very simple example in order to distinguish between independent and dependent variables. Now another example of that. So like in an experiment, you are trying to find out how far people can see in the IR spectrum. So the wavelength of the light here will be an independent variable, and whether the other person can see that light or not is your dependent variable. Now talking about the hypothesis. So when we have a problem, when we want to find out something about something, we have an initial guess कि yes, that can be the answer or this can be the answer. So the initial guess that you have while you want to start your experimentation is called as the hypothesis. So hypothesis can be termed as an educational guess about the relationship between two or more variables. Now we are going to talk about what is a research process. Now see, if you want to do a research and you want to know that how I am going to do that research, so what you will do? So initially you will start with a rough idea about what your question is, about what you want to find out. So that will form your research question. So that is the step 1 of the research process. Now you have an idea about what you want to find out. You have a question. So what you do? You start to find out you start to collect all the information about that thing. So that is the step 2. We start to get the background information. Now when you get that information, you might find out that what you were expecting as means के question means not be the same. You might have to change it. So here at the step 3rd, you have to refine your topic. Now when you have formed a final and a good one topic, you form the answer to that. You have a guessful answer for that what can be the output of this thing. So that is where your step 4 comes, and at the step 4 you form a hypothesis. Now at the step 5 we make our research design. See, understand this by this thing. Now you want to find out about something. You have an idea about what can be the answer. Now you want to do research. Now you might have initial idea that what will you need in that process to do that research work. Like what are the tools you are going to need. What will be your experimental setup. What is going to the gases you need or the chemicals you need, or if you want to make a questionnaire for that, then what you want to put in that questionnaire and how you are going to conduct this. So all these things come under our step 5, that is we have to prepare our research design. Now here is an additional tip from my side. After you have done this, I recommend you to write a review paper here, because now all those things that you have find out, all those things that you had in your mind are very fresh in your mind. So if you will write your review paper at this point of time, after you have made your research design, then it will be very helpful for you, because it will help you have an idea and your work will be done at a very much faster part. So by the end of these steps, you will have you will have an idea about what you want to do, how you want to do, and also you will have your paper at this point of time. Now the next steps. Now you have to gather all those tools that you need for research and all those materials that you need. Or if you want to make a questionnaire, then you have to make that or all those things. That makes our steps 7. Now at the step 8, we have to collect the data. Now when we are trying to do the experimentation, we will get some data. Or if you are trying to make that, or if you are trying to fill that questionnaire, you will have that data. You will have that feedback forms or whatever those things from those who are in your study. Now step 8 makes the collection of the data. Now in the step 9, you have to perform that experiment, or you have to analyze that data, that what you have got from there, or do the experiment as a part of the step 9. In the step 10, after you have analyzed the data, or after you have obtained the results, now you will get the results from that analysis or from your experimentation. So as a part of step 10, you will have the results. Now in step 11, you have to compare the results with the hypothesis. Hypothesis as you made in the earlier steps. Like, see, you expected that this can be the output, like this can come the output. You made a guess. Now you have got the output. So you have to compare them to be sure that the output that you have got is same or not. And as the final step of this, you have to write your research paper or your report, where you will tell all those things that you got to know as a part of this research. So these are the 12 steps that come under the research process. So now now coming on to the next topic, which is peer review. So peer review is what? Like, you have made your paper. Now you have sent it to a journal. So I'm sorry for this. So every journal has its own team of of experts. They check your paper. Those team of means experts, they check your paper, that the work that you have done is good enough or not for that journal. As you might be knowing that each journal has its own set of scope or aims of that journal. So does your work match the scope or the aims of the journal, is checked by those team of experts. And this whole thing is called as the peer review. They check it, that either your work is good work or not, and also they give you a feedback, like what you can improve, or if you have or if your work is good, but the way you have praised or the way you have presented it is not good, then they will tell you how you can improve that. So all those things come under the part of peer review. Now the literature review. Now see, you have a topic on which you want to do the research. Now how will you know that what all work has been done on this topic, like in the past or something, what all work has been done? So those steps come under the literature review. So you make a summary of what all work has been done on this field, on this topic, or something like that. So why do we need to do the literature review? To find out the information that is already in your field of research. So what happens when you do this thing? You identify some gaps, like one person has done work till here in this field, and the other person has done work till here in this field. So there might be a small gap in their work. That is where you can work. So you will get to know the gaps in the work when you do the literature review. Next thing that you come to know is what other people are doing. See, I want what they are doing and what kind of work they are doing. Next thing, we get to know about the methodologies and technologies. Like, see, I want to work on wireless sensor networks, right? Now I don't know what kind of board do I use, what kind of sensors do I use, how will I transmit the data from one place to the other, how will I make the life of the battery of that node so much good or nice. So how will I come to know all of this? all of this I will come to know by the method of literature review. So I will come to know about the about the methods and methodologies and the technologies that other people have already been done work on. Now now the other ones have worked on this. They also have worked with some kind of things in their mind. They also might be having some kind of research gap or research problem or something like that. So what they had in their mind and what they found out, now what you have in your mind and what you want to find out, how that thing is all connected, you will get to know by the literature review. Now how to do literature review? Here I am going to here you can see a table in front of you. See, there are many things that comes under the literature review. So I give you a very easy way by which you can do this. So what you need to do, you need to make a table like this. Fine. Here all those papers that you have done and all this stuff. First you will put the citation of that paper. Then you are going to write that what was the research question of that paper, what that author or what that researcher was trying to find out. Okay. Then what was the method of data collection, how it collected the data. You are going to enter here in this column. Then what were the methods that he used for his work, you will write here. Now after doing all of this, what did he found out, what did that researcher found out, you are going to write in this column. Now once we have got something, we need to check that whether the things that we have got is true or good or not. That we are going to check by the form of a validation. So what did that person did to validate that what he has got as the output was right or not. And finally, every work has its limitations. So that you are going to write here. So for every paper, you try to fill all of these sections from starting to the end. So what will happen? See, once you have 10 or 12 entries in this table like this, like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 or 12. Once you have 10 or 12 entries like this, you will be very very confident about what is the work, what the data methods are, how to do this work, and if I use these tools, what am I going to find out, and how I am going to validate my answers or whatever I have got. Now, why to write a research paper? I will take a little break. I have been speaking for so long. I'm sorry. I would like to share one thing with all of you. I stammer. I have this thing called as stammering, and means because of that I speak in this way. But the only thing that I have in my mind is that I want to share things with all of you, so that's why I organize this course. Okay, so coming back to the topic, why you need to write a research paper. See, what happens when you write a research paper? When you go for any interview, when they ask you what is the kind of work that you have done in your life, as a part of your means career, as a part of your research work, then that research paper is the only proof that you have to show that this is the work that I have done. So what you get after writing a research paper? You get the credit for that. You get the recognition for that, and and people are aware that you are doing this kind of work in this field. So this also brings a factor of awareness. So now we are going to talk about the types of research papers. There are total 8 types of research papers. But what we are going to talk here is only 4 of them. They are short communications, or also known as the brief communications. Then it is the research paper. Then it is the research article, and then it is the case studies. So these are the basic 4 types of research papers. Now we will talk about all of them step by step. First, talking about short communications. So these are the brief reports of the data from the original work, and these are mostly used when we have to be time sensitive. See, now all over the world, the hot topic of research is coronavirus. Now you have done some work on that. Normally peer review takes 3 to 5 months, but we cannot wait for so long for that. So these kind of topics for which we need to tell that information to others in a very short time, that kind of papers are called as the short communications. Now the review. So this is just the outlining or the summary of the work done in your field in the previous time. Now the research article. Every research article, it follows the basic IMRAD structure. See, you can have so many sections in your paper. That is totally fine. But the basic 4 sections has to be same for all of the papers. The first one is the introduction, then the methods, then the results, then the discussion. So these are the 4 things that should be there in your paper when you are writing a research article. I am not saying this thing about the review article. Not for this. Only for the research article. In every research article, these four sections should be there. That is very, very needful for all of you. Okay, next, case studies. So case studies are mostly used in the medicine field. So what they try to tell about the specific instances of some very, very interesting phenomena. So what is the difference between a research paper and a review paper? So research paper is the report of original research study, while the review paper is the analysis of the works have been done till now. The research paper tells about the analysis and interpretation of the data, while the review one, which it tells us about the current state of understanding on that topic. So this one means in a research paper it tells about the work of that scholar, but a review one it tells us about the work of other scholars. So these are the basic differences in the in the in research in so, sorry so these are the basic differences in research paper and review paper. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the parts of a research paper. A research paper, every research paper has these basic parts which I am going to share with you now. First is the title of the paper. A title of the paper is the very first thing that a person sees in your research paper. So it should be something that catches the eye of the other person. It makes them read your paper, right? Then it comes the names of the authors. Here we talk about all those who have contributed in doing that work and in writing that research paper. The person who has done all of the work should be given the person who has done all of the work should be given the first author at this place, because he is the person who has done all of this work and he is the person who has made all of this possible. Now comes the author's affiliation. This tells us about where is that author from, about his research lab or his home or his or her home university. Then comes as the abstract. Abstract is a very short summary of your paper. The best way of reading any paper is to read its abstract, because abstract is the summary of that whole paper. In that small paragraph, you have to tell the readers that what you have done, why this work was needed, and what was the output of your work. All of these things has to be told to the readers in this abstract. Then comes the keywords. Keywords are some specific words that helps your paper to be found out in the various databases. Like if you have used very much right and useful keywords, then your paper can be found out very easily. Then comes as the introduction. Here what we do, we write about the whole topic in a small way. Like see, if I want to write about the wireless sensor networks, in order to wireless sensor networks, in order to see in order to okay, I am doing this part again. See, for an example, if you want to write a paper on role of wireless sensor networks in education, or you have done some work about this, So here what you will do, that first you will tell about something about the education, then you are going to tell something about the wireless sensor networks, then you are going to join both of them and show a relationship, and finally you will come to your research question. These all things come in your introduction part. Then we have the literature review, where we talk about the similar works that have been done in the same field. Then comes as the methods and the methodology. In this part you will tell that this work, how you did that work, what were the things that you used in doing this work. Now after your work has been done, now you will just tell about your results. Here you will just tell about your results, you will not try to explain them, just tell about them. In the next part is your discussion part. Here you will try to explain your results. Like this, see like this was my work, I did my work using these things, I got these results. Now I'm going to talk about what I understood from these results. That is what we talk in this section of discussion. Now in the next section of conclusion, here you talk about overall. You will just end your paper here, like this is the what I have got from doing all of this work. So that is the thing. I will talk about all of these parts in my tomorrow session, where I will tell you how to write each of these parts. Then the next part is your acknowledgement. Here you thank all those persons who have helped you in your work. Like if your project or research is being funded by some organization or by some committee, then you have to mention its name here in the acknowledgement. And finally comes the references. So what do we mean by references? See, when you are doing some work, okay, so you refer to some articles or some reports. Now you have to mention that to which things I refer to in my literature review. So when you have to mention those things mentioning work will be done here in this part in the references. So this was the first session of the 3-day online course on the best practices for writing a research paper fast and easy. So today we talked about some basics of some research. We talked about some standard terms, what they are and what they mean. I gave you a very nice table on how you can do your literature review. I'm telling you, if you try to follow this table, your work will be very, very easy. I assure you that. After all of this, another thing that we talked about the parts of the research paper. So these were the contents of the first day. Now I have a homework for all of you, in which you have to send me the answers to some questions. The first one is, on what topic will you like to write a research paper? Then, while starting, so this was the first thing. Then you have to tell me that when you are trying to start your research work, which which paper can be done, either it be a research or review means के ना paper. Then you have to tell me about why do you want to write a research paper. Here I want your answers, like what is in your mind, why do you want to write a paper. And fourthly, you can write your doubts from today's session. You have to write the answers to all of these things in a doc file and name that doc file like this. Here's the mouse. Name that doc file like this, like your name, then an underscore, the date of today, and you rename the file like this and send it to my email ID by 12 p.m. in the morning. So this is your homework for today. I hope my session was useful for you. I'm really sorry about my speech. First the session got out and I was so stressed that I could not know and think what to do. So that is why I'm stammering so much when I'm stressed out. So I'm thankful to all of you for cooperating with me, and I will see you guys here on tomorrow. Take care.